So keep going with your list.
Meal preps or meal preps with me because I hate doing that one task alone.
Oh, that's so fair. We don't even do that because we both don't like doing it.
I hate meal prepping.
Meal prepping
I hate
sucks.
meal prepping. I love cooking.
Yeah.
But I hate meal prepping.
Yeah, no, girl, I feel that. Like, I feel that to my core.
Yeah, and I don't mind doing it. I just don't want to do it alone.
Yeah. Yep.
Has a stable career that he enjoys that provides a lifestyle of abundance.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
I think this is when people are going to start coming at me and being like, you're a gold digger.
Listen, you know what? If you know yourself. You like to live a certain lifestyle. You are very upfront. You're not saying that people who don't live that lifestyle are good or bad. And you're not saying that people who do live that lifestyle are good or bad.
Yeah.
You're saying that's just what you want.
Wish I could be more minimalistic. It's just not who I am to the core.
And that's fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So therefore, like, don't feel any sense of shame that that's something that you want. If you want a man that can financially take care of you, that is okay. You are allowed to have that. You're allowed, and you're a very honest and open person. So it's not like you're not going to have those things be known and made aware. Like, it'd be gold digging if you were like, I'm only being with you because of your money. Like, no, like, that's not why you would be with somebody. That's not who you are. You just also want that quality. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So.
Do want to say this just before the haters do start coming at me. Everything that's on this list, other than like certain things that are more masculine energy, because I don't really embody a whole lot of masculine energy. I do, but I'm trying to like release that. I'm really trying to push myself into my like dark feminine. Mm-hmm. But these are all things that I'm literally working on myself and like doing for myself. Mm-hmm. So when people look at my list and be like, oh my gosh, that's so long. Okay, well, these are all things that I'm working on. These are all things that I'm already either doing for myself.
Yeah, you're already doing those things for yourself. You're not saying that you're like, I'm not going to lift a finger and you better do every single one of these things on this list or goodbye. It's like you're putting in just the same amount of work.
Yes. So the reason I made this list is because if I want a man of all of these things, what do I have to do for myself to be deserving of a man that has all of these qualities?
Yeah, you know what? That's a very self-aware thing to think about. There are people out there who have lists that don't work on themselves, right? Yeah. And that's, I think, where a lot of people will come at others and being like, well, that's unrealistic and the bar is too high. And it's like, no, I hold myself to this standard as well. So therefore, we're fucking goddesses, okay? We better be fucking treated as
we only fuck with gods, okay?
All right? Yeah. So better start acting like it. Because when I'm calling God in the bedroom, maybe it's your name. Yes. Maybe I'm talking about you.
I do want to be talking about my partner. Are you not talking about game?
No, I am. I'm just saying, like, you better be talking about that then. Like, maybe, is what I'm saying.
Oh my gosh. So this is when I start to get really in my feels.
Okay.
My inner monologue, like how my inner person talks, starts to come out a little bit. Okay. So passionate. Someone that loves so deeply and expresses it in the way he knows I will enjoy.
Aw, okay, yeah.
Very important to me.
Yeah.
Honest with me always, even when he knows I will not like what he has to say or it will make me angry. Never lie or hide anything.
Yeah. Yeah, the lying thing is rough, man. That shit can be really...
That's a real, like, trigger for me, though. Like, I don't even do well with white lies. Like, if I catch you even in, like, a tiny little...
Well, it's trust. It has everything to do with trust, especially if you're getting into a relationship with somebody, too. Like, what are you doing? You're trying to build a foundation with the person. And if you can't even build a foundation with a person by being honest with them, like, your foundation isn't going to be very sturdy. It's going to be... It will easily crumble as time goes on.
But even, like, with that validation thing, like, too, because if you lie to me about something minute, like, something stupid...
Okay, this to me is like a form of lying. Okay, like, let's just say it's like Valentine's Day and you go home and you see that there's like no flowers, no anything, like there's no even really a mention of it, right? And so you kind of walk in and you notice that, and maybe you're kind of not in a great mood. You haven't brought it up to the person yet, that you're maybe a little hurt by that, but they like notice it, and they're like, oh, I'll be right back, and they like go out because they like all of a sudden remembered what day it was, and they go out and get you flowers, and they do all of that. Like, to me, that is also a lie. That is annoying, because you're like, oh, you just fucking realized and you think you can make it up? Like, you forgot all goddamn day about that.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that's also a lie. And
see, I don't know, because I also struggle with time too, being an ADHDer, so I do understand where like, oh shit, what day is it? Like, I have no concept of time either,
Yeah.
which is why I'm always
what if it was like your birthday though? Like, maybe not, like maybe Valentine's Day is like a bad example.
I'm
but
weird
like,
about my birthday.
you forget your own birthday?
No, I said I'm weird about my birthday.
Oh, you're weird about your birthday. I was like, you forget your own birthday? I
You
was
better
like,
know
no.
my birthday.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm like, can you imagine if trying to make it up by like getting you flowers or something?
See,
And-
that wouldn't really bother me. If they really genuinely forgot and they were doing the best they could to make it up, and they were being actually honest about like, See,
yeah, I would need them to be honest. What I'm saying is that, let's say, like, they noticed, and they were like, I'll make it up really quick, and I'll just, like, get her some flowers and do this, and then I'm just not going to say anything. You know what I mean? Like, so you kind of have to, like, it puts you in this position.
they would have to be honest about, like, hey, I fucked up.
Yes, I would need to. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if that were to happen to me, it's like lying almost by omission.
Yes,
like
that would
the
bug
idea
me.
of lying by omission is super shitty.
Yeah,
like so.
But
I
if
feel
they
like
were just communicative and, dude, I know this is important to you. You have every right to be upset with me. I fucked up. What do you need me to do to like make this up?
Yes.
That is, to me, is like an honest response, and I'd be cool with that. Like,
Okay, yeah. And just to let you guys know, that example I brought up is not based on anything that's happened to me in real life. I literally was just trying to think of an example. I need to clarify, like, I don't want people to
coming for Gabe in the comments?
Like, I don't want people coming for my husband in the comments be like, I cannot believe you forgot your wife's birthday. Like,
or Valentine's Day. Do we need to reiterate that Gabe is a very good husband and we love him?
Yes. Also, my husband's birthday is right around Valentine's Day, so it's like he knows of all the holidays around his birthday.
Is he a Pisces?
He is an Aquarius.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like, there's no way he's a Pisces.
No, he's an Aquarius.
Okay, so makes time for me even on the busy days. Mm-hmm. That's even like that text message we talked about.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna get sappy.
Okay.
Thinks I'm the most beautiful woman in the world and compliments me even when I don't know how to take the compliment, because I never do.
Yeah, I feel like I get like very. I feel that I could see you doing that too.
I get really upset. I wish I didn't, because I want to give the positive reinforcement. I'm like, thank you, but I want them to keep doing it.
Yeah.
So they need that positive reinforcement for them to like keep doing it. But I feel so awkward about taking the compliment. I don't know. One day I'll figure that one out. When I do, I'll let y'all know.
You just let us know.
Extremely loyal, patient. Ooh, this one's really important to me. Okay. Because I'm a superficial bitch. Okay.
Yes.
I'm very big on taking photos and videos.
Oh, I feel that. I wish I took more photos because I like want those memories. I totally understand.
So I come from a household with grandparents who had dementia.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, I want to hold these memories, especially if you don't have a good memory.
Yeah.
Like, I can totally understand and see.
So, and I don't have a good memory myself. So there are times where I'll go through my photos and be like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot I went to that show. Oh
I will say, I need to correct you and say that is not superficial. That is not, like, your reasoning behind taking photos. Yes, like, there is, I'm sure, a party that's like, I look cute today, put in the effort, I want a picture. But also, like, being able to say, besides that, to say, like, I want these memories. These memories are important, and there is a much deeper meaning as to why you would want that. That is not superficial. So I just want to let you know that, as somebody that just heard you say that, it's not superficial.
I'm such a sap. My grandmother was very good at taking photos. Of course, she's freaking Korean.
Yeah.
She traveled. She was a very independent woman, especially for her age group. She did all these wonderful things on her own and traveled on her own, and she took so many photos of her in different places.
Yeah.
And I genuinely like appreciate being able to seeing the memories she made. When I look at those photos, I get that happiness and joy.
That's awesome.
Like I said, I just have a really bad memory. So
Yeah,
I do have that gaping fear that, like, I'm not going to remember anything one day.
Oh, yeah. I feel like I also, so I grew up in a household that, I mean, we had a lot of photo albums, and I haven't looked at them in a very long time. But they're important to have because I absolutely have forgotten many moments of my childhood, and to be able to have those, it kind of will boost the memory, or, you know, reboot it and be, dust that off in the attic of your brain, and, you know, or the crawl space of your brain, that you're like, oh yeah, I do kind of remember that. So I think it is important to have photos. Like, you even know, like, you look at your childhood photos and you're like, oh, I do remember that, whatever. So there is absolutely.
I also think there's, like, growth in that, like, I look back at some of the photos back in the day, and I was like, gosh, I don't even recognize who that person was anymore. Like, that's a completely different version of myself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I need somebody who's going to press for it. Like, somebody that's going to be like, babe, like, it's a beautiful view.
Like, you want to, because then it's like, if you're doing it all the time, then you're like, am I being annoying? Like, you know what I mean? So, I feel that.
Every single one of my partners that I've ever had,
they get annoyed.
They got annoyed.
Yeah.
And it became a fight.
Yeah.
And then it became like this, like, why even ask? Like, I'm not even gonna ask for what I want.
I mean, listen, even I'm calling out. Even my husband's like that too. I think it's like a guy thing. Like, a lot of guys I know do not like to take pictures. It's annoying as shit. Like, when I'm with my girlfriends, we take so many fucking pictures, and it makes me so happy. So I'm like, I just want more pictures of us. Like, I want to be able to have those memories.
I think a lot of it too is, like, men are weird about ego and the social media aspect of it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, even when I was in a relationship, you saw how often, like, I posted. I never really, like, posted anything.
Yeah.
I posted when we were, like, doing stuff.
Yeah.
It was never, like, intimate moments at home. Oh, we went on a vacation. Like, we came home, here's some photos.
Yeah, it was like a significant thing to do, but just like day-to-day things.
I never did that.
Yeah.
But I could understand that, where you don't want your day-to-day intimate moments to be publicized.
See, I think that's where, like, my husband comes from. He's like, you know, like, there are things he wants to keep private and in the moment. And yeah. So it's like, I do understand, but, like, internally I'm also like, I want to share. So, like I wish Gabe would entertain the idea of doing, like, TikTok with me, because I'm like, oh, I feel like it would just, people would love you. Like, you know.
He's very likable.
Yeah, but he's also like, I don't know if that's what I want. And I have to respect that, and that's totally fine. Like, I'm like, absolutely. Like, if you don't want to be on video and on TikTok, like, you do not have to be. So, like, I'll even post my own personal TikTok, and it's like, stuff like about funny things about my husband and I, but like he's like never really in them. I
love that. Like, okay, first of all, I love your TikTok.
Oh, thank you.
I love that he's, like, so supportive of it. Even though there's, certain... I mean, you do, like, the... What is that called? I'm really bad at social media. The stitches with the hot dudes.
Oh, yeah, like hot dudes that I'm, like, doing, like, an acting skit with. Yes, absolutely.
I could totally see where men get insecure about stuff like that.
Oh, okay,
there's no reason for it, but I could totally see.
Absolutely. By the way, that person, definitely you should follow. He has awesome content, and he does a lot of book talk stuff. His name is It's Tyler James, or It's Me, Tyler James. That's what it is. But he's got, like, great content. He's also, like, a super, super, super nice person. So definitely check him out. Also, I'm gonna shamelessly self-plug here and say my TikTok is Christina Cotton with a K, obviously. So definitely check both of those things out if you're interested. Also check out our TikTok. Our TikTok, which is More Than Missionary. Yes. Absolutely check out our TikTok, where we will be having a lot of sneak peeks, things like that on that TikTok. So 100% go to More Than Missionary at TikTok. Back to our regular scheduled programming. So I see we're kind of nearing the end of your list.
Yes.
Okay, so where are we at? Where do we leave off?
One will be spiritual, monogamous, sees eye to eye with me when it comes to raising and disciplining children.
So important. If you want children, y'all better be on the same page with how you want to raise your children. I am very lucky that Gabe and we talk about that, and we don't have children. Like, I nanny, like, that's my day job is to be a nanny, and I absolutely love it. And I will have, you know, things that happen and scenarios, and it makes me think about, like, you know, what would my husband and I do in this situation and things like that. And it's almost like I feel like a mom in training. Yeah. And I love being able to talk to him about what his thoughts are on, hey, like, here's, you know, a scenario, like, what would you do as a parent, to get his perspective on it. And you have to have those conversations if you're planning on
wanting to nanny.
Kids. Yes.
So I do get that.
Yeah, like, it makes you really think about who you you are going to be as a parent. And
I didn't think about, like, because I also just am into, like, child psychology.
Oh, it's fascinating.
Oh, it's so interesting.
That is one of my favorite things about being a nanny, is literally being able to, like, watch these children develop over time and being able to help foster a safe and loving environment for them.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, there is nothing for me at least, there's nothing more gratifying in a job than to be able to do something that feels that great to be able to participate in.
Yeah. I get very nervous about all that, though.
With what, children?
Yeah. Just, like, being a parent.
Oh, I mean, yeah, it's fucking terrifying. Everybody's winging it. Everybody's winging it. Our parents winged it. Their parents were winging it. Like, nobody knows what they're doing.
Nobody does it right.
No.
Like, we were talking about that
Every
earlier.
single person.
Nobody does it right.
Listen, this is why I confirm, I'm like, everybody needs therapy. Like, everybody needs some sort of processing about something that fucked up happened when they were growing up. Nobody has a perfect life. Like, everybody needs to sort something out. And that's why I think therapy is a very good idea for most, if not all, individuals. So
gentle with me, is very inclusive, cares about animals and likes dogs.
yes, all good things.
I would prefer somebody that's a little bit more self-made, enjoys taking me out and doing the cute dates,
Okay.
likes to plan dates / vacations for the both of us. I hate constantly doing the lead on that. I don't mind it.
Planning all the dates.
Yeah, I don't mind
Oh, it
doing
should be
like
a shared
90% of the time,
responsibility.
but,
like, you should both be doing it. You guys should both be planning dates. Like, I like taking Gabe out on dates, and he likes taking me out on dates. Like, you should absolutely have that.
Same views on marriage and children, like what that looks like. Forever trying to know every part of me, not to change or judge me, but to understand and embrace me. Loves all my different styles, because as we already talked about, your girl's a little stylish.
Yes, she is.
I can give my trust to him, let him make decisions for me / us. I give him authority to lead. That kind of goes along with the other one. Can defend me. 100% vulnerable only with me. So you're allowed to be vulnerable sometimes with other people, but like 100%.
Well, your most intimate vulnerability should be with your partner.
Explains his decision-making process to me.
Yeah.
Has dreams and aspirations of his own and actively works towards them. And then the other little category I have under here is hobbies. So that's music or live music and concerts, and that doesn't have
those
to
are
be,
like, are these more like your shared interests? Like, you want to have these shared interests with this person.
likes to dance, motorcycles, or anything that's a little bit, adrenaline junkie-ish. Journals and reads.
Wow. Okay. I really like that list that you have. I'm actually surprised I didn't hear one specific thing that could have been on that list.
Oh, I want to hear that.
Okay. So because this is important to me. It's not important to everybody, but I think you would do well with this on your list, would be actually like having the same political beliefs. I think is really important. Because I'm telling you right now, like, it causes arguments. Shit causes arguments if you do not align the same politically. So, I mean, like, and it doesn't need to be, like, to the T politically, right? But, like, the general scope, like, I could not see you being with somebody that was, like, ultra-conservative. Although, I don't think that the things that you have on your list would really apply to a lot of people. Like, what you attract is, like, those are a lot of, like, self-aware and sensitive things. And I'm like, listen, I'm not trying to, like, judge people that are ultra-conservative, but I kind of judge people who are ultra-conservative. So
I grew up in a conservative
I did too. I'm like, I feel like I can't say because I used to be conservative.
Yes.
So I'm like.
So as we were talking about, when I used to be a shitbag.
Yeah.
I was like an ultra conserve, like Catholic.
Yeah.
I kind of sucked.
Like, I grew up in an evangelical household. I totally feel that. Like, that's a whole other episode we will touch up on our religious trauma background. So
here's the thing, and that's like why I had in there like challenges me and respects like my
you want like good conversation. Like, you want
I don't mind if we don't believe in the same things.
Okay.
As long as we're capable of talking about it.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Respecting each other's opinions.
Yeah.
And then saying, okay, well, I don't agree with that. But fundamentally, it doesn't get in the way of what we're doing here. So it doesn't matter. I'm also somebody, I really have, oh gosh, I don't know how to word this. I'm going to sound like a dick. So, like, can we just go back and forth and communicate till it sounds right?
Yeah.
Okay. So my dick statement is going to be, because I don't know how to reword this accurately, is although I have so much respect for you and that you're capable of going out and doing the protesting and like standing up and like being loud and being that person, I respect the fuck out of you.
Thank you.
Personally.
Yes.
I could never do that.
That's totally fair. Like,
it has nothing to do with the mission. I could completely agree with the mission.
Yeah.
But to me, it doesn't. To me, it doesn't change anything.
Oh, I think, you know what, I'm very aware that, like, protesting in general, it is a form of expressing your anger in a civilized way. Like, I am very aware that when I go to protest, like, it is how I feel about it. Yes, it's getting, it's making your voice heard, but that's kind of the extent of it. Everything,
for me, I feel like they don't care about our voice.
That's why
the people who are making laws, they don't give a shit.
I mean, you're not wrong. You aren't wrong in that. That's why I'm saying, for me, when I'm being able to protest politically, there's a portion of it that is what I just said. But there is also a big portion of it is like, I am so angry about XYZ, right? Like women's reproductive health rights. I was very angry, right? As many women were.
Oh, I was pissed.
Of course. And I was like, I don't know like where to put this anger right now. And there was something very cathartic and comforting about being in a massive group where everybody feels that way too, and is like voicing it all out right then and there. It's a very important for me because it felt very cathartic. Like I was able to be as loud as I wanted and shout about like, whether it's sentiments about my anger or sentiments about like being able to talk about what can we do to make this better for us, and so it's a big sense of community, and I think that's, for me, that's why it's important. But that doesn't mean that that's for everybody. Like there are people who get really anxious in crowds. Why would they want to do that? That's a waste of time for them. That's okay. There are ways that you can impact that are probably more impactful than that. Donating and voting I'm
very interested to see what happens with the stock market.
Oh yeah. Oh,
in January,
God.
Did you see like what was going viral on the TikTok?
I have not. I do not get that on my FYP as much as you do.
I definitely gave in to the TikTok trend.
Oh, really? We will discuss this after the podcast.
Yeah.
I am interested.
My form of testing is hit them where it hurts, and that's the wallet.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, like if you don't want, this is a whole. I could talk about this for hours. This podcast episode is gonna be like 6 hours long if we start talking about this.
So I'm one of those people like, what else is happening?
Yeah.
Behind the scenes.
Oh,
that's distracting us.
Yes. Oh my God. Okay, keep talking.
While we're all loud and doing our thing, like what's going on behind the scenes that's just distracting. And then I get to this point where it's, because I'm a little bit of a conspiracy theorist, tiny bit.
Yeah.
At the end of the freaking day.
Yeah.
I can't do anything.
Yeah, no, you personally cannot do anything. I personally can't do shit.
We can vote.
Yeah.
And the prelims is like where it counts. Like, so make sure you guys are like,
yeah, please vote. I know a lot of people are like, oh, like it's a waste of time. I understand why you feel that way, but it's literally in the current system.
On all levels.
Listen, like vote locally. Yes. If we can't get our shit together locally, how do you expect this to get anything done on a large scale? Yeah. No, it's very important to vote. But
so for me, I feel like that's all I can do.
Yeah.
Is I can vote.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they're going to do what they want to do anyways.
Yeah.
So I can't put that much weight in it.
Yeah.
Obviously, with Roe v. Wade, it was a little bit different because that does scare me. Like, if they're...
That directly affects you and me. That directly affects us.
Yeah, that, affects the whole nation, really. But, also just, I mean, that's really scary. Like,
Yeah.
living in a world where maybe even birth control is just, like, no longer accessible.
Yeah, it's very handmaids. It's very uncomfortable.
So,
yeah.
like, but again, that's, like, out of fear. Like, and I don't want to live there either. I don't want to live out of fear.
Yeah.
So then I kind of have to take a step back and say, okay, like, what can I do? I can either live out of fear and be really angry about this and be really pissed off.
Yeah.
Or I can just move on with my life because it sucks, it's hard, but there's literally nothing I can do about it. So for me, if I can have a partner that's, I wholeheartedly disagree in that, but, like, also we don't really have a say. So, like, why would we let it affect our relationship?
That's a good point. I can definitely see why that wouldn't be something that is, like, a priority for you.
I also don't want to talk about it. Like,
that's true. Yeah. Like, I mean, Gabe and I don't, like, constantly talk about politics. Like, that would be a really miserable sense of a relationship. It just, for me, because there's a lot of things that, like, okay, like, when we were in college, we really connected because of politics. So it was something that for us, like, we really found a lot of commonality for, and it became a very, for a short period of time, was something really important to us. Yeah. So it's like, for us, it was, you know, I could not imagine being with somebody that didn't align with my political belief system, or, like, at least, like, a general,
I feel like
like, not doesn't, like I said, doesn't need to be to the T, but, like, you know,
Yeah.
just, like, a general sense of, like, we agree on the same things. Like, for the most part, we agree on most things.
I just feel like growing up in a conservative household, like,
Yeah.
you can, like, and then, like, becoming a little bit more liberal, like, you can see both sides of a lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
things.
Like, I feel like for a really long time, at least in the household that I grew up in, like, my parents agreed and disagreed on a handful of things. But the things that they disagreed on were, like, really, you know, big. There were some big things. And so, like, I witnessed a lot of arguing about things that didn't matter. So, you know what I mean? So it was like, that's why I'm like, I think it would just make it a lot easier if we kind of aligned politically.
But you literally just said it doesn't matter.
No, you're right. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I'm like, it does not everything's going to affect our relationship.
There are things, I'm dating somebody who's a little bit more conservative, and we have discussions. So when it comes to children, I think it's a little bit different because they're growing minds. But when it comes to adults, when we talk about LGBTQ plus rights and stuff like that, him and I have had a few discussions about things where I'm like, well, like, we don't really fully agree, but also I can understand his point of view, and then he can also understand mine.
As long as you guys are able to communicate.
We're also not the humans going through it.
Yeah.
You know, we can have a full discussion, like, about
very hypothetical discussions about things.
And
I mean, listen, because, like, you and I both grew up in conservative households, or more conservative households. I mean, like, there is a lot that I think we understand about the other side. Like, I'm very liberal, but I understand a lot of thought processes about conservative beliefs, because I used to believe those things, and part of it was like, I'm just kind of following what this parent follows, and, you know, and then as you learn more about it, you become more justified in your thinking about it, right? Because I know the other side of it, I would not be able to be with a person who believed all of those things, because it's like, because I believed all of those things in regards to bigger topics, LGBTQ things for me, you know, women's reproductive rights, like, just some, like, core things that I think are important. But because I was conservative, I feel like I can easily debunk a lot of things that are being said about it. So I'm like, I'd be like, well, no, because actually of this fact and this fact and this study and blah, 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 blah. So, like, I could not do that. Yeah. But I understand, like, it's not bad to, like, be with somebody that doesn't politically align with you. But
that's the thing, though, is like, you're capable of coming back and being like, well, I don't agree with that because of, you know, X, Y, and Z.
Right.
I can do that too. Like, I don't mind having that conversation with
I think I get too heated with it, which is why I need somebody to be I cannot separate. Like, I'd be like, that's stupid. Like, I'm angry now.
I will say, as a bisexual woman, we have it a little bit easier.
No, we do, because if we're in a heterosexual relationship like that,
we just seem straight.
We seem straight.
Yeah.
Like, we're not breaking societal rules about
Yes.
things. So it is a lot easier for people who are bisexual that are in heterosexual relationships to be like masking that part of you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not as obvious, right? And so there is a lot of
And I
privilege
feel like
that
most
comes with
a
it.
lot of bisexual women,
Yes.
end up in heterosexual.
Yeah, very much
relationships.
so. I mean, absolutely. I know
Yeah.
many. And yeah.
Yes.
I included.
Oh, I really want to do a whole mini-sode episode about this, about like being a bisexual woman who's
Yeah.
attracted to masculine energy.
Yeah, no, because there's definitely like women that I am attracted to, but they're more like mask, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? They're definitely masculine, and like that's what I find attractive about that
Yeah.
person. So yeah, no, I get that.
But yeah, so for like political beliefs, if they are capable to like stepping out of that box, I'm also
At least
somebody
being open to a conversation.
who likes to challenge.
Mm-hmm.
You and I could 100% agree on something, but I'm still going to challenge it.
See, Gabe's like that. Gabe is very good at playing devil's advocate.
Yes.
My problem is that I will forget that he is playing devil's
That he's
advocate.
on your side
And
and
he's
then you
actually,
get upset.
and that's when I get heated. Like, we'll even have political discussions about things, and I'm getting heated. He's like, Christina, I'm on your side. I'm playing devil's advocate. And I'm like, oh yeah. Because I'm like, you don't actually think that, do you?
Yeah. See, and I love that. I love that debate.
I do like
love
talk-
that
yeah.
conversation. So to some degree, I don't mind somebody who doesn't have the same opinion as me, because
Yeah.
I want to be stimulated.
You want to be stimulated.
I want to
mentally
be.
stimulated
I
that way.
also then want to go back
Yeah.
and research more,
Oh, yeah, no,
and then be
absolutely.
like, okay, well, with this research, do you still agree? And I don't have to win every argument, right?
See,
I don't
I'm a
have
right.
to win.
I'm very self-aware. I am a bit of a right fighter, and it's a problem. It's something I'm working on in therapy. Like, it's an ongoing process, okay? But I am a right fighter.
Too is like, who's to say who's right?
I'm not going to have an opinion on something if it's something that I'm not fully sure on because I've done the research. So I'm like, well, if I have the research, then like I can confidently be like right about this. And it's like, that's not always the case. Like, really, truly, there are many things that I'm like, it's not black and white. And I think this is that I'm not blaming it on the fact that I have a slightly neurospicy brain, right? I'm ADHD, but there is like a sense of black and whiteness to certain things that I'm like, this has to be black and white, because how can it be? I don't like this gray area. This is so like, that doesn't make sense. So I have to, like, I think it's a part of this gray area that I don't like to be sitting in. So it's like, I need there to be a line of what's right and wrong.
See, when it comes to politics, I'm very comfortable with the gray.
I am not.
I'm very
I'm
comfortable
not.
in the gray.
I am comfortable in the gray area of other aspects of life, like emotional things. You know, that's why therapy is therapy.
Oh, I'm not. So if we want to like trade,
Yeah, I'm very
I go to
comfortable.
therapy, but like I don't do well with emotions.
But even with my emotions, I compartmentalize a lot. So like, I'm like, everything has a box, and like, this is the box that's labeled in my brain about this specific emotional thing, because it makes it more black and white for me that way.
I'm so glad that we got on this, because I meant to lead with this for
Really?
this podcast, but like we can outro. I just want to talk about this for a second.
Okay.
Your girl was a sad girl last week.
Sad girl, sad vibes.
Or not last episode.
Oh,
Your girl was sad girl. I was like editing these videos and I was
Yeah.
like, that's not who I am.
You felt like, well, okay, first of all, it was the first one we were doing, and everybody puts up a front and a mask, like, when you're like, this is our first thing doing, you know what I mean? Like, I'm way more comfortable this week than I am the week.
I know, we had wine and everything last week. We were all nervous.
Yeah, I was like, I think that's normal, so it's okay. It's okay to be sad. It's okay if you were like, that's not, do I really feel that way about this? You know what I mean? Like, don't worry about it.
I just like noticed in my attitude, I was like, I'm normally such a hyper personality.
I mean, we had also smoked quite a bit of, wow. I do enjoy smoking, but if I smoke too much before we are recording things, like I just get really quiet and I'm like, I know I have to contribute and talk or I'll zone out. And I'm like, I need to be paying attention. Like, and it's not that I don't want to pay attention. I absolutely do. I'm very, it's the ADHD. You have seen me doing this.
I know.
When we, that one time when we were working together and starting everything, and you were like, I was like, I have to be really honest about something right now. I am very, like, I'm way too.
Yeah, okay, but I will say, like, that was just, like, a sesh of, like, doing stuff on the computers.
Yeah.
Okay, but we're both leaders.
Yeah.
So I feel like you being, like, stoned kind of helped me just be like, I'm gonna lead.
I'm gonna QB this session right now. I like that we both can, like, give each other that space to do it too, because we both like to lead. Like, I loved that we were able to do this episode today where you were able to just go off on your list and I can, like, ask questions. There's gonna be other episodes where, like, I'm gonna be doing a lot of the talking and you're gonna ask questions, and that's, like, a great way to exchange that leadership. This is a democracy, okay? This is
Here we go with the politics again.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Tina, keep the politics boner in your pants.
I'm sorry. It's a big boner. Okay. Oh no. I will say, just so we can start wrapping things up, I think a bit. I think that the things that you had on your list were very well thought out. Have you shared that stuff with your therapist as well?
Oh yeah.
Is it interest? Okay, so I'm really bad at journaling, so I feel like that is a really great way to journal.
Oh my gosh, my therapist told me to stop journaling.
Wait, what? Okay, maybe, I don't know. Listen, I don't journal, like, at all. So I'm really bad at journaling consistently. So I'm like, wow, she's so good with journaling. Like, I love that. I'm really bad at it.
So I'm an overthinker.
So, okay, so you think it's not as helpful.
I'll just jot and jot and jot, and I'll keep going and keep going and keep going. And so, especially now that I'm starting to journal on my laptop and instead of an actual journal.
Oh, it's like way faster.
I always have my freaking laptop with me. I don't always have my journal.
Yeah.
So anytime I start thinking about something, I just start writing it down. Yeah, so I was talking to my therapist about all the overthinking I've been doing, and she's like, "Babe girl, your head looks heavy."
Like, wow, you got a lot going on.
Journaling.
You got a lot going on in there. Maybe you need to quiet your brain more.
Yes. Yeah. So she's like, I need you to be more present. I need you to stop being so in your head. You need to be a little bit. I want you to take a break from the journaling. And I was like, okay.
Well, I mean, that's not my therapist. Obviously, like, everybody's on their own path, right? So my therapist is like, yeah, you should probably journal more, and I don't do it enough. So, we're all...
There are times where I have real revelations, and it's very helpful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lately, I've been going down the rabbit hole of just overthinking and jotting down my like...
It's like using it, like, almost like too much.
Yeah.
You're just using it too much. Okay.
The second part of this is why everybody should have one.
Yes.
For me, I think, like I said, the reason that I wanted to create this was because I never narrowed it down to what it exactly is that I truly wanted in a partner and core values and those things. I realized if I don't know exactly what I want in a partner, I'm never going to be able to work on myself to be that person that's deserving of that partner, like I said before. So this has now helped me be able to see where I need to work on in my healing journey, because if I'm incapable of, being able to express my wants and needs, even though I know it's something that's really hard for me and I'm hoping that my partner will understand that, I struggle with being able to communicate that in order to get to the deeper level of the next thing. So now I have to work on that for myself. I have to be able to work on communicating those needs. And it's really hard. I mean, there's times where, like, I will be with somebody that I'm dating and I want to communicate. Yeah. And I shut down. And it's very frustrating for myself.
I've had that.
And it's like, okay, well, this is something that I clearly need to work on because there are never going to be those things on my list if I can't communicate what I need. Yeah. I think a lot of times we harbor resentment against our partners for not giving us, like, our needs, wants, not meeting our needs when we don't even know what our needs are. This also then creates clear boundaries. Yeah. Because if somebody, like, I don't know if you hadn't noticed, but they're, like, check mark ones. So when I start thinking very seriously about somebody, I do go down lists, and I start checking them off. And the important thing is, if they stop doing the action that made you feel that way, is to uncheck it.
That's very. Oh, I like that. Like this is not a one and done.
Yes, this is like not a one and done. And I obviously not in the beginning. I would never share. I mean, who knows? Some guy I might date like might just watch this and be like, "Oh, I already know what's on this bitch's like." Hey,
so I watched your podcast episode.
Yeah.
Let me tell you,
this isn't something.
Can you put this link this episode to your Hinge account? Like, hey, just watch this episode, and if you feel like you match this description, hit me up. That's what you should have on there.
No, this is not something that I would like bring up to somebody like first date. No.
It's not like, so, it's so nice to meet you in person. Lovely. Puts on, her bifocal glasses and pulls out a sheet of paper with the list on it. Like, yeah, no, that's probably not a good idea to do that.
But once I've established with somebody, like this is, after a couple months of dating.
Yeah.
I've established, okay, like, I want to build something here with you. Do you want to build something here with me? Yeah. That's when that check mark list starts to really come and play in effect.
Yeah, I know, that's fair. Like, you're not gonna, like, be like, oh, like, this isn't matching up right now, so therefore, ixnay. Like,
but I am always asking questions, too.
Yeah, like, as you're getting to know somebody.
Yeah. I'm always asking, like, simple questions that can lead to bigger conversations or make me think, okay, like, they are thinking about the future in that way, or they are doing this, or they are working on these things, or they are aware of this.
I love that. I'm thank you so much for being comfortable with like sharing that list with me, with those who are listening.
I was a little bit nervous.
I'm really, you know what, you did a great job explaining everything on that list and why you have it, and I like I said, thank you for being vulnerable with us, with me about this list. And
I'd like to do an update one day.
I would love. I think you guys would like an update as well. Like
not like I don't know, that list could change in 3-4 years.
Absolutely. Like we absolutely. I think I would love to have that in whenever that may be, when you feel like you've experienced more.
So I wanna do a challenge then for our peeps.
Ooh, a challenge. Inserts like soundbite. Challenge.
You are our soundbite. That was amazing. Make a list. Like, even if you're already in a relationship, like, they could be the things that your partner already does. Yeah. That makes you feel really, really good.
Bonus if you talk to your therapist about it. Bonus. Yes. That's a bonus.
Who knows? Watch, somebody's therapist is going to be like, that bitch is completely unreasonable.
I'm going to send this podcast episode to my therapist, and then we're going to have a whole session talking about it. No, I mean, this is great. Like, honestly, I would love it to challenge our audience with doing something like, make a list for yourself. These are qualities that aren't only for your partner, but they're for you too. Yeah. So I think that's lovely. I think it's challenged me to make this list. I will have to make this list. I'm not going to tell our audience members to not make this list, and then I'm like, I didn't do it.
Kickstart your journaling.
Maybe this will kickstart my journaling. Listen, I got an awesome journal for Christmas last year from my husband, and I have not used it. It is a very pretty leather bound.
Girl.
I know. I like looking at it. Like, I'm like, it's so beautiful. And then I just walk away from it.
I have a couple of leather binded journals too. I don't use those for like journaling. I use that for spell work or manifestation lists. Yeah. I also like going back and looking at like what I manifested like 2-3 years ago.
I do too. Yes, I do have things like that, but they're like notes on my phone. Like, it's not like written down. It's like I have a note from like the beginning of the year, and it was like what I'm manifesting for the year.
My gosh.
And then I like forgot about the list.
As we talked about my notes, no, I feel bad for the sorry sucker that gets lost in my notes app.
They're gonna find this list and they're gonna be like, we're not gonna steal this from this woman. We're just gonna give her your.
I have lists.
They're gonna be like, this bitch is crazy. You know what? We're not fucking with her. Give her phone back. Okay. Well, on that note.
Yes, on that note.
On that note, we are going to say goodbye for now. Thank you so much for listening in on this podcast episode of More Than Missionary, of Ashley's awesome list of what she expects
In a person.
in a partner. So, thanks again. My name is Christina.
I'm Ashley.
And we'll see you next time.